in this town is like the epitome of institutionalized racism. You don't see it coming. And by the time you recognize they're doing it, it's been 50 years.
And that's your point is well taken, because Sandra spoke through her column on Sunday. And people had a fit about it. And I took the same survey she took on Google, and I posted it, because they did a thing. They went in Google, they typed in the word nigger, right? To find out where the word was used the most. We are second to West Virginia as the most racist area of the state. We're second to West Virginia as the most racist part of the country.
Well, here's my thing, though. I'm going to tell you something. One, you know, my reason for mentioning the one-dimensional thinking in the audience is that we have to be alert to that and employ some tactic to always pull them back.
That's right.
So the people who are facilitating have to always be aware of the fact that they're slipping and get them back. In regards to the condition here, white people are equally conditioned to be racist. Yes, if not in actual behavior, and it's just in their regular functioning. Our neighborhoods are segregated, which is not necessarily a bad thing in my opinion, because it allows room for cultures to be preserved. You mix them, you lose them. So it's nothing bad about the neighborhoods being separate. I like the fact that, you know, Tip Hill's like little Boston, and we don't know quite what the South Side is because we ain't got no nationality. You know, but you get my point. You know, and so it's not a bad thing. But if people are conditioned to choosing their own because that's what they see every day, then why wouldn't you understand? So even that dynamic we have to understand. So, and this is not to say anything in support of those who are intentionally screwed up, but for the ones who are functioning in the same way that this 3-year-old calls other 3-year-old a nigga, you don't know what he's saying. He's conditioned. In that same respect, you know, the white person who might not speak to you when they see you on the street or choose their friend over you when trying to decide who to hire, they're functioning from a similar type of conditioning. This city is conditioned. You know, and then those who have control are trying to maintain it at all costs. You know, it's like we have to figure out a very creative way. You know, we've learned to function despite the lack of service. Right. We have to somehow figure out a way to function progressively, absent the lack of, you know, with the lack of service. Because, you know, the system doesn't change until we change. We change it.
Absolutely right.
So unless, you know, Cool is mayor and, you know, Noble's the governor, you know, and he's the state senator, restructuring the laws, the game doesn't change. Unless he's the new president of IBM, the rules don't change. Right. You know, they don't change. You know, so we have to empower ourselves enough to make those kind of moves despite the storm. And then we do what's necessary to make it better. And we can do it without neglecting anybody else.
But it's not just their side of the fence conditioning, because a sample consciousness is conditioned as well. And when you talk about that condition and it being set, president of IBM and so on and so forth, and we have to create something to operate outside of that, it's hard when you got sample consciousness among you, right? So people have been put into that box to say, I'm going to survive regardless of what. I don't care about Khaled's children, or I don't care about Akua and her family, so on and so forth. So we have individualized ourselves by chasing the materialized carrot that's held before our face. A dude told me in a conversation we having like this, I gave the example, if we were all locked in this room and they put limited resources in here, the natural thing from where I stand is to share, right? It's to share. He said, no, I'm going to try to kill off as many people as I can so I can have more for me and my people. And you got people who walk around and think like that. They don't want to share nothing, right? So they've been individualized to the point where anything they do, all roads lead back to me, right? And when you start talking about family values and national identity, so on and so forth, and shifting paradigms, the bottom line to all of that is we don't love each other, because we don't love ourselves first and foremost, because we don't know who we are. We don't know from whence we came. We have no point of reference genetically, DNA-wise.
We live a fraud every single day, bro.
Every day. And like you said, I was laughing because when you made the comment about, well, we don't know what to call the South Side, Terrence Mama Romper Room. And that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Right? They asked me, well, what you think about the violence in the city of Syracuse? It's an agreement. It's a conscious agreement that people participate in.
That's right.
And they sign a contract with the blood of their own children. Because if something was to be done different, it'd get done. But people agree with it even in language. It was 100 degrees out the other day, we know. But if you listen to the pocket conversations, man, somebody gonna get killed today. Somebody gonna, every time it get hot. So we already have a level of expectation that we put over our own head through words. Now ain't no telling what in the world they thinking if they bold enough to keep saying that.
That's right.
They might be thinking, I hope you the one catch the bullet. You don't know. Because this is the population.
And then when we start saying it, and then next door or the building we in, they gearing up because they know it's 100 degrees and somebody gonna kill each other because that's just been known.
You know, the thing is.
I love my hometown, I'm from where it hurts. We hope for the best here, but we prepare for worse. Everybody selling drugs like they scared to work.